Good morning, students. How are you? Fine. Okay. Hope you all are fine. Same tagline. Hope you all are fine. But yes, I'm expecting that you all are fine, very fine, with your family, enjoying all the moments and learning. Students, one thing I'd like to ask you, that the videos which I'm posting, is this much okay, or you need something extra? Why I'm asking this question? Because in classroom, when you are sitting in front of us, that time we can judge this thing with the help of your facial expressions. Okay, if someone is yawning, if someone is getting disinterested or distracted, or looking out of the room, or looking out of the window, then we can guess this thing, that yes, our lesson is not at all interesting. But here, in this way, I can only see that how many have viewed this video, how many have given like, and how many have given unlike, okay, or dislike. Okay, so your likes and dislikes are only visible here, and that also hardly 11 likes and 1 or 2 dislikes I am getting to see. So what I should assume with this, ki the lesson is not interesting? Dear students, see, I am missing you a lot, because for me as a teacher, it is like very killing experience, that I am not able to see you all, and my teaching is also I'm not getting any motivation type. So I request you all, please give the comments, okay, so that I'll get some motivation out of that, and I'll try to improve my lessons. Is it very clear? This is my request to you, my very humble request to you. Okay, so I want improvement in myself, I want improvement in my students, you all. Okay, for that reason I request you to leave the comments, to give the comments, and your likes and dislikes also. If your dislikes are there, I request you to put the suggestions. See, suggestions are invited. Your suggestions are like feedback to us, ki where we are lacking, and that I can improve. Okay, I hope you understood, and you will do this for me. Okay, so in the last part we have studied that what is reflection, what are the laws of reflection, and what are the terms related to reflection. Yes, correct. So what with all this, that what is reflection, what are the laws of reflection, okay, and what are the terms related to reflection, okay, like incident ray, reflected ray, and all. I hope that you are now well equipped with all the basic concepts related to reflection. Yes, so we can go ahead with the chapter. So now we can start with the next topic, that is mirrors. So in this part today we'll come to know about various types of mirrors and the terminology, the terms related to this spherical mirrors, okay, reflection due to spherical mirrors. Is it very clear? So shall we start? What is a mirror, students? A smooth, highly polished reflecting surface is called a mirror. Okay, see, this one thing is very common universally, means at least globally we can say. Suppose the clothes may vary from India to Africa to America to England and other places. Our hairstyles may vary, our eating habits may vary, okay, our language it varies, our religion it varies, our home structure, okay, all these things will vary, but one thing will be common from India to all over the places in the world. Yes, and that one thing is a mirror. Can I say like this? Yes, all will be having same kind of mirror where they will get to see themselves in it. Yes, so and this thing will be there in every house, maybe it's poor or very rich. Even Ambani will be having a mirror, and even your that rickshaw wala who stands at the square, okay, everyone will be having a mirror at their house, correct? So there is no need to tell you what is a mirror. What is a mirror? Now if I ask you one question, scientific question, mirror is a type of a glass, correct? Then why that we cannot see ourselves in a glass and why we can see ourselves in a mirror? What is that thing which makes that glass to reflect? I know that some of you might be knowing the reason, because there is chemistry involved and you might have studied this all in chemistry or earlier science. So let's discuss that. Commonly used mirror is made by depositing a thin layer of silver metal on one side of a plain glass sheet. Means what you understood from this, that it is same glass sheet. It is same glass sheet what you have in the this photo frame or aquarium. It is same glass sheet, but the thing which differs from those glass sheets is that there is a deposition of a thin layer of silver metal, okay? And what happens over this silver metal layer, there is a protection layer of a coating of red lead oxide paint. Red, that you have seen, if you will see a mirror, okay, you will get to see backside some reddish type paint. Reddish type, what is that? It is red lead oxide paint. Commonly used mirror is made by depositing a thin layer of silver metal on one side of a plain glass sheet. The silver metal layer is then protected by a coating of red lead oxide paint. Is it very clear, students? Is it very clear to all? Now there are some types of mirrors which we are going to study in this part of the chapter. So let us know. Now we are all are knowing about the plane mirrors. What is a plane mirror? Just we came to know a highly polished plane surface is called a plane mirror. Highly polished. Polish is important. Curved mirror. What are the curved mirrors now? A mirror in which the reflecting surface is curved, okay? If you will go to Raman Science Center, then you will get to see various types of curved mirrors, okay? A curved mirror or spherical mirror. So the another name for curved mirror is spherical mirror. Spherical, it is made up of word sphere. Sphere, you know, that ball shaped 3D object, okay? So that is a sphere. So if you will cut a slice out of a lemon again, it is a type of sphere. If you will cut a slice out of a lemon, then what you will get is a type of that object, okay? What we are going to study. Even the lenses or mirrors are of that type only. Let's see that figure. You can imagine now a lemon, if you cut a slice, how it will look like that, okay? Now what are spherical mirrors? What are spherical mirrors? A mirror whose polished reflecting surface is a part of a hollow sphere of glass is called a spherical mirror. Now imagine that lemon is a hollow sphere of glass. That lemon is a hollow sphere of glass. Now if you cut a slice out of it, what you will remain with that slice, that we can see that spherical mirror, okay? And the spherical mirror are of two types. If the inward portion is reflecting, then it has another name, and if outward portion is reflecting, then it has another name, okay? Let's see that. Now this definition is clear. What are spherical mirrors? A mirror whose polished reflecting surface is a part of a hollow sphere of glass is called a spherical mirror. You can see in the diagram very clearly it is mentioned, okay? Concave mirror. Now what is this concave mirror? When the reflecting portion, that reflecting surface is inward, okay, inward side, like a spoon. From the side from where we eat, keep the things on the spoon, that is concave part, and the back side, if you turn it upside down, that side is convex, okay? A spherical mirror whose inner hollow surface, inner means the hollow part, inner hollow surface is the reflecting surface, Okay, it is called a concave mirror. Now there is a confusion, but if you will look at the figure, see why the figure is also shown there, so that you can relate with it, and your concepts should be very clear, very very clear. Okay, concave mirror, this is a concave mirror. Okay, definition is clear to you. Now let's see convex mirror. A spherical mirror whose outer hollow surface is the reflecting surface is called a convex mirror. You can see now the outer portion is reflecting, so the rays are getting reflected from that side only. Okay, so both the definitions are very clear to you. Just look at concave mirror definition once again. A spherical mirror whose outer hollow surface, whose inner hollow surface. Okay, whose inner hollow surface, here outer hollow surface is the reflecting surface, is called a concave mirror, is called a convex mirror. I think the definitions are clear, or both the definitions are clear to you. Okay, now let's go to the next part. Terminology for spherical mirrors, very important. What you can see in the figure, what are the things? Hollow spheres of glass, principal axis, pole, radius of curvature, center of curvature, all the things, what are these and why we name them like this, so we'll come to know. Okay, so these are nothing but the terminology for spherical mirrors. Let's see. Number one, aperture. Aperture means the effective width of a spherical mirror from which reflection can take place. Means only the portion which is exposed, from where the light can get reflected. Okay, now let's see our eye. Our eye is a ball type shape, that sphere type, yes, but only some part is visible, so that will be called as aperture. Is it very clear? The width, the effective width of a spherical mirror from which reflection can take place is called its aperture. Okay, is it very clear, sir, students? So next is pole. Now what is a pole? The center of the mirror, spherical mirror, the center of the spherical mirror. You can see the mirrors. Now the center of a spherical mirror is called its pole. Okay, what is center of curvature? Now you can see it, we have said that the spherical mirror is a part of a hollow sphere. Now hollow sphere, so it will have a center. If it is a sphere, it will have a center. You can see in the figure, center C. Okay, it is the center of that hollow sphere, so actually that is only called as center of curvature. The center of the hollow sphere of which the spherical mirror is a part is called center of curvature. Okay, now student, one thing happens in this way. When I am teaching you in this way, I am imparting you the instructions from this way, that the speed is either very fast or very slow. So guide me that is it okay, or you need some pace with it. I should keep some gap with each part, or whatever. Okay, so just give your suggestions for that. Okay, let's see the center of curvature. The center of the hollow sphere of which the spherical mirror is a part is called center of curvature. See the main thing which we are missing now, that yes, sit quietly, look here, look, all these now we are missing really very hard. So not able to see you from the here, so it is difficult, and that is means like what we'll say motivation for us. Always when we can see your faces and your eyes and your expressions, that is really motivating. So center of curvature of a concave mirror. Now see, this is center of curvature and this is center of curvature of a concave mirror. Why it is given specially? Because concave and convex mirror center are at different places. The center of curvature of a concave mirror is in front of its reflecting surface. The center of curvature of a convex mirror is in front of its reflecting surface, while that of a convex mirror is behind it. You can see in the figure, convex mirror, concave mirror in front of the reflecting surface, convex mirror behind the reflecting surface. Okay, okay, so that diagram is for your help only. Okay, next radius of curvature. Radius of curvature. The radius of the hollow sphere of which the spherical mirror is a part. Now it is a sphere, center is also there. So what is the radius? The line joining the center with any point on the circle, that is all radius. So here we can suppose we say P to C. P is pole, C is center, P to C, that distance can be called as radius of curvature. Okay, the radius of the hollow sphere of which the spherical mirror is a part is called the radius of curvature of the spherical mirror. Okay, next principal axis. Principal axis. The straight line passing through the center of curvature and the pole of a spherical mirror is called its principal axis. This is very important because all the things which we study in this part is related to pole and principal axis. That's why lot of importance is there of principal axis. Again, the straight line passing through the center of curvature and the pole of a spherical mirror is called its principal axis. Okay, student. Okay, next part, normal. Now we have studied about, I told you in the reflection part, what is normal. Normal at any point of the spherical mirror is the straight line obtained by joining that point with the center of curvature. What you will do, just all the radii are the normal. Okay, all the radii are the normal, we can say. Why? Because the radius is perpendicular to tangent, you know that thing. So all the radii of that sphere will be normal. But here we are considering only which part, which is reflecting. Okay, is it very clear? Okay, focus. What is focus? Focus on your studies, focus on your studies, focus on your work. All we say means concentrate, where all the rays meet. All the rays after reflection, they meet at one point. Okay, that is called as focus. Understood? The point on the principal axis where all the rays coming from infinity after reflection either meet or appear to meet is called the focus of the mirror. Now, meet and appear to meet, this is different in different cases. Means in concave mirror they definitely meet, but in convex mirror they appear to meet. Understood? In convex mirror they appear to meet. That's why it is said like this: the point on the principal axis where all the rays coming from infinity after reflection either meet or appear to meet is called the focus of the mirror. Focus of a concave mirror. Now again, because we have seen center of curvature in convex it is at different place, in concave it is at different place, so same way focus will also change. The focus of a concave mirror is in front of the mirror. The light rays after reflection from a concave mirror actually converge at the focus. They do not appear, they actually converge at the focus. A concave mirror is also called a converging mirror. Okay, so another name for concave mirror is converging mirror. Clear to you? Focus of a convex mirror. The focus of a convex mirror is behind the mirror. Why? Because center of curvature is behind the mirror, so focus will also be behind the mirror. Okay, the light rays after reflection from a convex mirror appear to come from the focus. A convex mirror is also called a diverging mirror. It is also called as diverging mirror. Focal length. What is focal length? The distance between the pole, you can see in the figure, pole and the focus. Pole and the focus. Now focus is not visible here because there is no reflection, because only after light falls and then, so if you want to see the focus we'll have to go back to the first that definition. Shall I show you? Just I'll take you back to that point where you can see the focus of concave and convex mirror. See, This is concave mirror, you can see the focus. Okay, yes, focus F. And this is convex mirror, you can see the focus. Okay, where all the rays appear to meet. Okay, that is focal point. Is it very clear? So this I shown you just to clear it to you. Okay, so focus of convex, focus of concave. Focus of a concave mirror, the focus of a concave mirror is in front of the mirror. The light rays after reflection from a concave mirror actually converges at the focus. A concave mirror is also called a converging mirror. The next, the focus of a convex mirror is behind the mirror. The light rays after reflection from a convex mirror appear to come from the focus. A convex mirror is also called a diverging mirror. Focal length, the distance between the pole and the focus is called the focal length. F is equals to radius of curvature upon 2. You can see that for equation, F equals to radius of curvature upon 2. Real image, what is a real image now? What is a real image? And what is a what we say virtual? We say virtual world. All these video games, this is nothing but virtual. Okay, so real means the one which can be obtained, the image which can be obtained on a screen. The image which can be obtained on a screen. Only definition for real and virtual. Real obtained on a screen, virtual cannot be obtained on a screen. Is it very clear? The image which can be obtained on a screen is called a real image. The image which can be obtained on a screen is called a real image. And the image which can be seen only in a mirror and cannot be obtained on a screen is called a virtual image. So even in plane mirror, what happens? In plane mirror we can get to see the image in the mirror, but we cannot obtain it on the screen. That's why that image is also virtual image. Okay, in the next part we will learn about the formation of images by spherical mirrors. Okay, because that is very important part, that's why I am leaving it to the next part. Okay, for formation of images by the spherical mirrors, that we'll see in the next part. So let's recapitulate what we learned today. We'll go in reverse order only. Okay, from last to first. Virtual image, definition is clear to you all. Real image, focal length, focus of a convex mirror, underline that, behind the mirror. Okay, rest all things are same. Behind the mirror, in front of the mirror, focus of a concave mirror, in front of the mirror. What is focus? What is normal? What is principal axis? What is radius of curvature? What is center of curvature? Center of curvature of a concave and convex both. Here it is given concave mirror and convex mirror both, where it lies. Okay, that differentiation is given. Then what is center of curvature? Pole, what is pole? Aperture, convex mirror, outer hollow surface is reflecting surface. Concave mirror, inner hollow surface is reflecting surface. What are spherical mirrors? And two types of mirror. Okay, So this all, with this we will stop today. Okay, with this we'll stop today, and in the next part as I told you, we'll learn about the formation of images by spherical mirrors. Okay, so I hope things are clear to you. If not, how I'll come to know? I'll not get any dream of it. Okay, you will have to say it. Okay, clear it here without any fear. You have to note this, you have to remember this always. Clear it here without any fear, so you can clear your doubts. Because RTA means right to ask. You have that right to ask. Okay, right to ask. So take means you have learnt in civics na, fundamental rights. So just utilize it, your fundamental right. It is your right to ask, so utilize it. Okay, but how I'll come to know what are the doubts? You'll have to tell me. Okay, so just take really good care of yourself and enjoy. Okay, we will meet again in next part with the formation of images by spherical mirrors. Take care. Goodbye.